Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Fat Cat, and this is a channel where we get into the topics of astrology, spirituality, sound healing, and so much more. And we are now in the thick of Gemini season. Gemini season started on the 21st of May, and it's going to carry on till June the 20th or the 21st. And so I wanted to get into how the animal totems that came up for me for the Gemini season can be helpful to navigate, to understand this season and the energetics of it. So let's first get into how astrology itself, and here I'm specifically speaking about the zodiac, how that can be very helpful in navigating our life and how it can be used to our benefit. So imagine you're on a date, okay, a typical date, from Bumble or whatever, and your potential girlfriend asks you like, "What's your sun sign?" Because she wants to know if you're compatible, and you're just like, "I'm not sure I want to tell you because I don't know, you're gonna put me in a box, you're gonna label me," or you're equally interested. You're like, "Hey, my sun sign is Aries, my moon sign is Aquarius, and what about yours? What's your rising sign?" You kind of open to astrology, but you're also kind of cynical and you don't fully believe in it and you don't like it to dictate your life. So I'm here to bust the myth, first of all, that the zodiac signs and astrology can dictate your life. Why is it getting darker? It's doing this again and again, like it's annoying me so much. Is it because it's on cinematic mode? I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna continue even if my face is darker. Fact is, I got really tanned because I'm in Bali. I'm just gonna continue. Okay. Let's just bust the myth that astrology is just completely controlling your life or limiting your life or whatever. It's bullshit because it's more like it presents you with certain data. It presents you with certain information that can be incredibly useful to you to study yourself and the people around you. So it is a form of meta psychology, and you can use that to study other individuals and yourself and to learn more about these different energies that play with one another. And they also help you to show to yourself, to reveal to yourself your own blind spots. For example, I'm a fixed sign, right? So being a fixed sign, I know that I hate to change. I'm not good with change, and I can get a little rigid with my ideas, and I know that that's the area that I need to work on, right? So similarly, if you're very mutable, you also know that, like I'm good at being changeable and everything, but then I also need to get some grounding and I need to stabilize myself. So it shows you your blind spots, it shows you the areas that you can improve upon and work upon, and it also shows you your strengths, what you're good at, what you can use to your benefit, what you're naturally attuned to, you have natural proclivities for, right? So I feel like in general, the natal chart, the astrological chart, your birth chart, as well as the zodiac placements that you have, and I do not mean by this just your sun sign, I mean all the different placements, and an in-depth study of it can be incredibly helpful, can be incredibly interesting to better understand yourself and also to understand the world around you, the other energies around you, and how you fit into it. That being said, I feel like the zodiac is not just limited to your natal chart. I believe that these zodiac energies, these archetypes, these avatars, if you want to call them that, these are archetypal energies that are available for anybody to use. Just like you have these goddess archetypes of the mother, the maiden, the crone. These are energies that you can use whether you have the placement or not. They're available around you in the cosmos at the touch of they're available at your fingertips to be used to your benefit, to your advantage, depending on your life circumstances and and the life cycle that you're in, the phase of life that you're in. And that I feel is the more fascinating and interesting part of astrology that most people do not talk about, right? Where did that Canadian accent come from? I do not know. Okay, I'm Indian. Okay, so I just wanted to get into how, let's bust this myth that astrology is pigeonholing me and I don't like labels. Hey, I don't like labels either. I'm just using it because I think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting. And I think I love studying myself and the world around me, and I use it as a meta psychological tool to do that. Okay. And this is why I feel like the zodiac is so fascinating and interesting. And I also believe that as we pass, it was 444, and as we pass between each of the energetic seasons, the energy of Taurus changing into the energy of Gemini, which is then going to change the energy of Cancer, it also can be used by us in different ways. We can also switch up our energies as we move from one time period to the next, and we can use that to our advantage, and we can develop ourselves more holistically by integrating all the 12 energies. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, not even talking about your placements. I'm saying understanding all these 12 energies and actually being able to embody all 12 energies, and then actually transcending all 12 energies because you've integrated all of them. I feel that is the finale, the actual complete, it's like completion of a circle. The Ouroboros is complete. I feel that is the ultimate gift and even the ultimate goal of the zodiac within astrology. Now, that being said, let's get into the animal totems of Gemini season. I'll get into what totems are, what spirit animals are, and we'll take it from there. So the whole concept of spirit animals and the animal totems mostly originates from Native American mythology and Native American spiritual practices, since that's been happening for many years now, centuries now. And we can still very much benefit from and apply these totems to our lives in the modern age to help us navigate our modern lives. Okay, so spirit animals are usually animals that come to us, that present themselves to us in certain periods of our life, especially at the beginning of a transformation or the end of a life cycle, or when there's a great change that is about to occur in your life. For example, one of my spirit animals is the butterfly, and every time there is a major conflict in my life and I know there is a major cycle that I need to break and transform, there is a certain specific butterfly with a certain pattern. It even has a particular pattern that just enters my room, and it's just there on the wall for about 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, until I've actually purged and gone through that pattern breaking within myself. And there's this internal drama happening within me, and there's that butterfly externally symbolizing the transformation that is happening within me. Right? Spirit animals come to your life to teach you certain lessons, right? To help you go through certain periods and cycles in your life. And animal totems are animals that we can invoke, that we can call upon to help us navigate certain situations in our life. Okay, again, historically these animal totems were assigned to certain Native American clans or tribes, and they held a lot of power. They were infused with a lot of power. You had totem poles, and you had other manifestations, physical manifestations of these totems to ground the totem into the reality, which was done by the Native Americans in the past. But today and now, here and now, we're going to employ these totems in a slightly different way, in a slightly modernized context. Okay, we're going to look at the 3 animal totems that presented themselves for Gemini season and how their energies and their messages can help us to understand and navigate the season. The first being the starfish. Now, the starfish is the ultimate hermaphrodite, okay? And let us just look at all the correlations between the starfish and the Gemini, right? Gemini is symbolized by the twins, is also symbolized by the balance of the opposites. There's a duality that is always coexisting within the Gemini. There's even like an internal conflict that is always there within the Gemini, because Gemini represents both dark and light, represents both yin and yang, represents both masculine and feminine. Okay, so the Gemini energy is androgynous. It is neither male nor is it female. It integrates both, and therefore it is hermaphroditic, or it's like a transvestite energy. Okay, and the same with the starfish with the 5 arms. Typically a starfish has 5 arms, sometimes they have 40, but typically they do have 5 arms. The starfish too, it has a body in the center. Actually, it's just a bundle of nerves, by the way, and it has 5 arms, right? And it is the penultimate hermaphroditic energy, and it is also completely consisting of nerves. So the Gemini energy is also ruler of the Gemini rules nervous system, rules the arms, the fingers, the hands, as well as the throat. Especially in Vedic astrology, it's the throat area. Okay, so what can we learn from this starfish energy? What is it telling us, and what is it giving us? You know, the starfish energy is about being quirky, it's about being weird, it's about enjoying the quirky and the weird, it's about moving in your own way without any, without any shame, without any doubts. You're just very happy moving in your own rhythm, moving in your own direction, being very groovy and very light-hearted as you make your way through life. Starfish encourages you to move lightly, to move smartly, but also to move in your very unique, your own way. Now the starfish also, if its limb is cut off, it can just regenerate that. Yes, it takes time to regenerate the arms of the starfish. It may take up to a year, but eventually it has all its arms, right? It has all its 5 arms again to dance around with. Yeah, so the other message of the starfish is that this is a good time for you to refresh your energies and to bring a sort of new approach, new perspective into the way you're looking at your life. Something may have become stale in your life, and you need to refresh the way you're looking at something, the way you're thinking about something needs to get a revamp. It needs to be changed up, because starfish is new energy. It's refreshing energy. It's quirky and weird energy, and that's required in your life right now. So look at the areas in your life where things are feeling a little boring or stale or like repetitive, and change those things up, because that can be extremely beneficial and requisite at this time in your life. Okay, now what else about the starfish? Okay, I think I might have missed out a little bit. Oh yeah, the most important thing about the starfish energy is that it also symbolizes the axiom, the universal axiom of Hermes, given by Hermes Trismegistus in the Emerald Tablets. You may have heard of the Emerald Tablets of Thought, which is, yeah, Hermes Trismegistus and Thought are the same being. Anyways, so this axiom is this: as above, so below. What does this mean? Okay, as above, so below. This means that whatever you may see in the cosmic realm is also reflected and exists in the physical realm. Yeah, whatever you see in the external reality is actually something that is ongoing and occurring in your internal reality. This talks about mirroring, this talks about reflections, this talks about how the microcosm and the macrocosm are actually one and the same, and that they're in fact just reflections of each other, right? And this is again a very, very deep philosophy of the Gemini energy, is this basic understanding that everything is actually just a mirror reflection. It's a bouncing back, it's a boomerang effect that is occurring all around us. Now, the typical Gemini understands this very well. That is why they're able to bounce back from, anything that's really traumatic or upsetting. That is why they're able to adapt so well to life's changes and all the little knocks that they receive, because they understand everything is like a reflection. And if you've met a typical Gemini, what occurs is you may end up projecting stuff on them because they're reflecting to you your flaws. They're reflecting to you certain things you do not like about yourself, right? So the Gemini has an effect of being like a mirror to you, like a ping pong, table, a ping pong ball to your thoughts and your emotions. And the Starfish is also doing that to you, right? So understand that anything that is happening within you is also happening outside you. Or even better, the better way to put it would be that, let's say you are facing a lot of conflict and chaos externally, it is time to examine that conflict and chaos internally. That what is that conflict and chaos showing me about myself? What can I rectify and what can I change? So it is about actually integrating this axiom. It is about accepting that, let's say you see so-called evil in the physical. Well, firstly, I do not believe that evil exists, but let's say you see some sort of evil that exists in the cosmic realm too. Now, how do you actually play with that contradiction? We have been schooled that the cosmic realm is completely pure and there is no evil that exists. That simply broken down, that simply means that if you see evil on the outside, there is something evil within you that you need to fix. Okay? So this is the beautiful duality, the balance and the interplay of the duality that you can examine and that you can learn to integrate from the Starfish. Okay, this was the lesson from the Starfish, and next we move into the animal totem of the chameleon. So the chameleon. So if you've seen this episode in the Friends where Phoebe runs funny and Rachel is embarrassed, let me tell you, a chameleon runs exactly like Phoebe in season 6 episode. I don't know what episode, it was season 6. Okay, and like, how she runs, it's quite comical. That's exactly how a chameleon runs. And what does a chameleon do? It changes its color to suit its backdrop, to suit its environment and surroundings. And I saw a chameleon actually just the other day. I was just observing the beauty of, how it's changing its colors so naturally, so quickly. Like I didn't even, before I could blink my eyes, it had changed its color and it seemed so natural. It was so natural to the chameleon to do that. This is another important lesson from the Gemini season, is to understand rather than to criticize the art of camouflage. Okay, the art of blending into your surroundings, of turning into a wallflower when you want to, and then becoming the center of attention when you want to, right? The Gemini energy, which is ruled by the Mercury, which is the planet of communication and technology. It's the swiftest moving planet as well as the smallest planet. It is the smallest, right? No, Pluto is the smallest, but it's not a planet anymore. So Mercury, right? This mercurial energy. Now, this can be again so beneficial when we learn how to change our behavior, to change our outlook depending on the environment that we're in, right? And the chameleon is asking you to be more mutable at this time. It is asking you to observe the beauty of change and mutability, right? For example, I'm a fixed sign and I don't like sudden changes. I need like at least a few minutes, usually like a day, but depending on the context, I need a while to adjust changes. But this season is just asking me to change really fast. Like I had to change my rooms because they offered me an upgrade of a room. And even though this room now is so much better, I actually said, can I just take 10 minutes? Because I needed that 10 minutes to just be like, okay, I'm going to change the room. I know this room is better, but I have to change the room. do I really want to change the room? Is it really better? Blah blah blah. Okay, so the chameleon, it's just changing its color in a second from green to brown to yellow and back to green, right? It has no problems blending into the background, and because of that, it is able to fool its prey. It is able to get where it wants. It is able to go exactly where it wants and get what it wants. So the message that is coming through in Gemini season is that if you have a certain goal or a dream, this is a really good time to be very flexible and drop your rigidity and really start moving in the direction of your dreams, taking those actions and not letting small knocks and changes bog you down. Just keep rolling with the punches, roll like the rolling stone right now, okay? And that this is a really good time to do that. Okay, there was a squirrel right there. There's so many animals like just everywhere. So this is a great time to do that, to keep rolling. Yeah. And observe how you feel, observe your discomfort as you are made to change, right? Observe that, but just make the changes anyway, like the chameleon. Okay. We can also learn to take on more of a childish, light-hearted, humorous approach to our work. This is definitely, June is definitely a month for getting our shit done, and Gemini energy definitely supports productivity, detail-oriented work and focus, and making all those networking and making all those connections. It definitely supports that energy, and this is a great time for that. And the Chameleon energy is also asking you to do this in a very light-hearted, playful and fun manner. Like, make life a ball, make it a dance, make it fun, and get the work done in that flow. You won't even realize that you're working because it's happening in a flow and you're having so much fun doing it. Now, the third and last animal totem that I received for Gemini season is the bumblebee. Okay, bumblebees, it's pretty simple, right? Bumblebees are symbolic of productivity, of focus, of service. They serve as the world's greatest pollinators. When they suck the sweet nectar out of a flower, some of the pollen gets attached to their legs, and then when they move to another flower, that pollen gets deposited into it, and that is how the fertilization can happen, and more flowers are here on earth because of the hard work of the bumblebees. At the same time, the bumblebees are enjoying it. They're having this beautiful sweet nectar, but they're also getting the work done. So this is about service and sweetness going hand in hand. This is a great time to be productive, to get focused, to do your work, and to add a little bit of sweetness to all of that. Add a little bit of sweetness into the mix. And Bumblebee is going to help you in that. Bumblebee is going to encourage you into that. Bumblebee is also symbolic of the interconnectedness of life. It is also symbolic of community, of a splash of color and brightness and warmth. So this is really good time to connect, to meet with people, whether it is technological, whether it's physical, or whether it's on, through the computer. This is a great time to get those energies moving, because some of the important connections can be made at this time. And this is a great time to be career focused and career oriented. A lot of things are going to move very fast in this particular season of the Gemini. So Bumblebee is also an antidote to being scattered. While it connects, it's very focused, it's very single-minded at its task. Okay? So guys, these are 3 annual totems I received for this this phase, this period of the Gemini season, and I hope this video was enlightening in some aspect, some form, and I hope that these animals lightened and brightened up your day, and I hope you're going to integrate the lessons you may have learned through this video to make the most of Gemini season and Gemini energy. And please don't hate on astrology. At the same time, please do not get addicted to it. Understand where, understand the fine line between fascination and addiction. And I hope you guys have a lovely and productive and fun Gemini season. Wishing you the best from Bali. See you the next time, papillons.